Hello everybody. So this is like a new channel I've just created specifically for Game Maker, and it is just step on tutorials on how to create a game. And by the time I'm done with this, y'all will have a pretty decent game, especially for your first one. And after I get finished with this game tutorials, I will more than likely start doing 3D. So if you're interested in 3D, just stay tuned because eventually I'll start doing 3D tutorials. And also, if you guys want, you guys can just leave comments and stuff of games you guys like, of like ideas, or something like say it's something you need done because like you don't know how to code or something. Maybe you're a beginner or you just don't know how to. You can just leave a comment or a private message, and I will get back to you on how to do that because I'm pretty experienced now. I haven't been using it for more than 3 or 4 months, but I catch on pretty quick. So yeah, if you need help, just feel free to ask. You can ask anything. It can be any type of question as long as it's related to Game Maker languaging or just Game Maker itself. I'll try to respond to anybody and everybody that asks, and I will try to give you my best answer and most relevant. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start off with what we're doing first. So first today, all we're going to be doing is getting our character to move. That's it. It seems pretty boring, but the reason that's all we're doing is because I'm going to tell you, I'm also going to explain each and every little bitty bit of code that I do. So that way you can apply it to all your other projects and know what you're doing. Because like normally people, they'll just say to do this and do that, but they won't tell you what everything means. So I want you to learn what you're doing, not just know how to write it down. Okay, so go ahead and create a sprite called Sprite Player. This will be your player. Edit the sprite, and you can do the width and height, whatever you want. I'm going to do 32 by 32, just because that's just what I've always done. Okay, you can go ahead and make him however you want. I'm just going to make mine this little blue circle. My drawing skills are not very good, so that's why it's just going to be a little blue circle. Or sorry, gray circle. I'm sorry, why did I say blue? Center this little organ, the X and Y position. I'll explain that better later, but for now, just center it and trust me. Okay, so that's done with your sprite player. Go into objects, create an object, call him, or name your object obj underscore player. Now the reason, right here, you can notice I did obj player, and right here I did sprite player. Well, the reason I do that is because inside our code, we might be saying to do stuff like, you know, go find player, and I want you to bring him here or whatever. Well, if I just wrote both of these as player, it wouldn't know if I was talking about my sprite player or my object player. So we named this one for our sprite SPR player, and for my object I do OBJ player. So that way the system, or like, so that way whenever I'm coding, I know for a fact that the system is gonna know which one to do. So that's just why I do sprite player and object player. I just wanted you guys to understand what that was. So now go into sprite and load sprite player. Add an event and do a keyboard left. Now you can also do WASD, but I just want to do left, right, up, and down for right now. Now this is what we're going to be doing to get your player to move. Okay. So your left, of course, we're going to get him to move to the left. So go into control on here, and then go into code and execute code. So now we have this, what looks like a notepad. Well, inside here, all you're going to do is x subtract equals 5. Okay. Sorry, I meant y. I meant x. Okay. So what that's doing is your x, that's going across the screen. That's kind of like the pixels going across the screen, I would think. And the subtract equals is saying subtract, and it's relevant. So that way, it's not just going to move over 5 spaces or 5 pixels or frames and then just stop. So it's saying keep on subtracting. And it's saying to go at a speed of 5, and there's 30 frames in 1 second or sorry, it's 30 frames per second. So if we have 5 frames, that would be a sixth of a second. So that's a decent speed. And then end it with a semicolon. A semicolon is kind of like a period to a sentence. It's just ending that statement. Alright, so that's all you need for this. And now you're going to do add event, a keyboard, and do right. Now you're going to do x plus equals 5. So now instead of doing subtract, which would make your guy move the other direction, you're going to do plus. And you're going to do the same speed, 5. So now add event, keyboard, and do an up. Do y subtract equals 5. So y is your up and down pixels or whatever. That's just what I call them. And now you're going to tell them to subtract equal 5. Add event, keyboard, down, y plus equals 5. Okay. Hang on. So now our character will move. I guess I can go and show you. Give you like a little sneak peek of what you have. So that's our player. And actually go and create a room. You don't have to name it. And just place it inside there. Place your character. Okay, so here's what happens whenever we do this. I hope I did this right. It's been a while since I've used it this way. Because there's another way you can do it without using code. Okay, good, yes. So see, now whenever we press those keys, our character will move. Which is, you know, that's pretty cool, especially for your very first game. You already have a character moving. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so that is all for this tutorial. I know it was short and easy, but I am taking you from the basics, so, you know, I didn't want to go too hard on you. And next, so please stay tuned for tutorial 2. Next, we're going to create enemies. And all we're going to do is we're going to be creating enemies and guns. So basically, guns, you know, you use the guns to shoot your enemy, and then you take out your enemy. And we're also going to make it where if you touch your enemy, then you'll die, and you'll jump back to your start. So, you know, that's pretty cool. And we're also going to, of course, set your score to 0. So in the next tutorial, I'll be going over a lot with you. But it really isn't that hard. It seems like a lot, but once you understand what everything means, it really becomes easy. Because like whenever I was first learning, I was just so scared. Like, well, I wasn't scared, but like I was worried that I wasn't gonna be able to understand this and grasp my mind around it, and like, you know, be able to go make a few games. But it's actually extremely easy. It's just, I don't know, it's just something that kind of clicks. It might not for y'all, but just keep on watching these tutorials. You know, always send me questions. Don't be afraid to ask things about this, and I'll be sure to send replies back and tell you what you're doing wrong or tell you whatever it was. I'll just answer your question. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, comment, rate. The only reason I tell you to subscribe is so that you can watch my next video, so that you can make a pretty awesome game. And of course, the whole reason, like this, it's not just going to be random stuff. We're actually going to be slowly putting together a game. So, yeah. So, by the end of all these tutorials, it will be a pretty awesome game. It's going to be two-dimensional, but it will be pretty cool. Alright. Thanks, everybody. Bye.